Hey, Cliticins. This one's a little different. We're calling this a special episode because that's exactly what it is. A woman who asked to remain anonymous from the audio erotica community came to us, wanting to share her experience with the Adam Justice situation. And honestly, we were honored she trusted us with it. So with the community moderator's consent, we're sharing her story today.
If you don't know what we're talking about, don't worry. We're going to catch you up right now. If you do, settle in. Her story adds a whole other layer to something a lot of people in this space are still processing.
One thing we want to flag before we get into it. This episode includes short audio clips of Adam Justice's voice at the very end. None of them contain anything sexual or erotic. We're including them intentionally so that if he resurfaces in this space under a different name or account, you'll know him when you hear him. We'll give you a heads up right before the clips play so you can skip if you'd rather not hear it.
So here's the context. A Discord community was built around a content creator and Reddit voice actor named Adam Justice. It was run by volunteer moderators and structured so that Adam had very limited access. Mostly just a broadcast setup where he'd drop content and members could react. The bulk of the server was women in community with each other. Not built around him, that part matters.
Recently, anonymous feedback came through the server's feedback form with a serious claim. Adam was married, and his wife had been a member of the server the whole time. The mods messaged Adam directly. He took over a week to respond. When he finally did respond, he immediately left the server.
More women came forward after that. It turns out Adam had been having private, intimate exchanges with multiple members on various social platforms, some for months before the server even existed. When their stories started matching up, the picture became undeniable.
Adam deleted his socials, briefly surfaced on Reddit, then disappeared entirely when the truth followed him there, too. The damage has been real, and it's still being felt. But here's the thing. That server is still active, and it has become one of the brightest lights in all of this darkness. Women are showing up for each other in there unconditionally. Stories are being shared, and there is zero judgment, zero shame, zero blame. Just women holding each other through something that was done to them. Which brings us to today, and to the woman you're about to hear from. What follows are her words.
I heard whispers of Adam Justice in the summer of 2025. He came into the scene as a newcomer and a guy who was just figuring things out. Multiple people took him under his wing to give him advice on how to best extend his reach, and he was open to advice and took feedback well. Big names within the community had good, professional experiences with him and vouched for him, and we had several months of good, consistent content. I followed him on Instagram, and he followed me back almost immediately. This is not uncommon in this community.
He was older, he was well-spoken. He portrayed himself as a single, successful man that loved women. He preached safety above all, even going so far as referencing in one episode that safety is paramount to women enjoying themselves sexually.
All the while, he was respectful and friendly. I have a hard and fast rule that I don't initiate direct messages with voice actors, but if a voice actor reaches out in a friendly manner, I will have a conversation with them. I would react to Adam's Instagram stories, which I realize show up as DMs, and he would use these openings to send me friendly messages. He began reacting to my stories as well, and we were friends for months. Casual flirting, sure, but just friends. He integrated himself into my online life in a way that was ridiculously non-threatening.
Then he took a break. As far as I know, no one heard from him during this period. He told everyone that his mother was struggling with dementia and he had to manage that situation. I might have sent the occasional "hope you're well" message during this time, but heard nothing back from him.
When he came back, we were still just friendly, and then the Discord dropped. The flirting ramped up. And because we were friends, I felt special. He remembered things that I told him I liked about his content, and he would reference that when he would flirt with me. I knew I was not the only one in his direct messages, and that didn't bother me. We're all adults here, and I knew I didn't have any claim over him.
I became active in his Discord and met some of the coolest people on the internet. We had spaces that Adam could not see and used those spaces to hype each other up and share our lives with each other. I could tell by the way others were talking that he was probably flirting with them the same way he was flirting with me, or more. His behavior continued to escalate, but not at a rate that was immediately concerning.
The lives in the Discord became a direct line to Adam that were overtly sexual. I casually mentioned getting a Lovense toy for myself during a live. When we were direct messaging afterwards, he asked to add me as a friend over there. We joked about playing, but I didn't think he was actually serious. But he's always said he enjoys giving friends orgasms, so the conversation continued until it became serious.
Eventually, it escalated, and we made plans to play on Lovense. He asked for my boundaries and agreed to them without question, again reinforcing the idea that he was a safe man. I never once felt coerced or manipulated.
We played twice in March. I would call over Discord audio only, while he would control my toy. Again, he remembered my preferences from his audios, so he would play into those specific fantasies. It was like a personalized version of his question of the week. This is a Quincast note. Adam's question of the week is where he would answer a listener-submitted question while masturbating and record it.
After playing, he would stay on the audio call with me until I recovered, in the way that any good partner would. Later, in direct messaging, he would encourage me to brag about our encounters in the Discord, within the channels that he did not have access to. He asked me not to drop his name. I obliged. Plenty of people would share stories in there, and not just about him, and I was one of many. I would get reactions from the other members, all positive. One member in particular, JJ Listens, would ask questions that did not throw up any warning signs for me in the moment.
When it later came out that JJ Listens was potentially Adam's partner, I went back and looked at our interactions. Her questions immediately became concerning, as it was implied that she had knowledge of what happened during my calls with Adam. My knee-jerk reaction is that she had either 1. Been told by Adam about the calls, or 2. Had been present for them.
While I consented to everything Adam and I did, the idea that it wasn't private was gut-wrenching. My issue with Adam was never that he had multiple partners online, and I really don't care that he's married. My issue is that the safe space he created was not safe at all. A week after the fallout, we now assume that Adam was posing as JJ Listens to get access to the rest of the Discord channels. We will never know if this is correct, but it's easier to accept than both him and his wife using the Discord to feed into their voyeuristic fantasies.
The members of the Discord have banded together in a way that still astounds me. We've shared our stories with each other, validated each other's feelings, reminded each other that while we may feel like we were stupid to trust him, he was the man who took advantage of us. In a community that is based around something as intimate as sex, it is natural to want to connect with other human beings.
Women especially are conditioned to trust, and when that trust is validated over months and months, and you feel safe, that can lead to any number of things. Anyone who says it could never be me has never had someone say the exact right thing at the exact right time. I've had to become sharper because of this, less trusting, and that, above all else, is what I was robbed of. How fucking dare he?
That's the end of her story. How fucking dare he? We're just going to let that sit for a second, because she said it perfectly.
What she described, the months of consistency, the remembered details, the careful escalation, the feeling of safety, that's not naivety. That's a con, a deliberate, practiced con. And the fact that so many women's stories match up so closely tells you everything you need to know about who was doing the work here. It was him. It was always him.
If you're listening to this and you see yourself in her story, in any part of it, we want you to hear this clearly. You are not stupid. You are trusting. And he studied how to earn that trust specifically so he could use it. That is not on you.
And to the women in that Discord who are still showing up for each other every single day, you are the story we want to keep telling. The way you turned that space into something he could never take from you, that's everything. To our guest, thank you, genuinely. What you shared today took guts, and it is going to matter to someone who needed to hear it. And thank you, Cliticins, for being here for this one.
Next, you will hear the clip of Adam Justice's voice that we referenced at the beginning. If you'd rather not hear it, stop listening now.
Another stress-filled day at the office. It's hard to believe some days how even the simplest task can't be completed without my direct involvement. It's enough to make even the most patient man cynical. But thankfully, I get to come home to you, my sweet girl, because nobody, and I do mean nobody, could be cynical with you around. Tonight, before the door has even finished closing, I feel infinitely more relaxed than I did just seconds before. You look incredible. You always do. Though I'm sure you'd say you weren't wearing anything special. The thing is, you don't realize that you don't need to wear anything special. You are special. Your best accessories are intrinsic to you. The quirk of your smile, the grace of your movements, the familiar and intoxicating expressions I spend each day committing to heart. Your mere presence unwinds me more than the best whiskey ever could.